Okay, so let's take a look at how you can set up PostgreSQL server on GCP. So make sure to set up your GCP account and start your 91 days trial. In my case, I already have trial and some credits left, so I'll be showing you how to set up PostgreSQL server in Compute Engine VM instance on GCP. So next thing would be to going to navigation menu, Compute Engine, then VM instance. Now here what I will do is I will be clicking on create instance. If you check the interface on the left hand side, you will have a variety of settings options for Compute Engine. There is also marketplace option that we will explore further. Right, so now let's click on create instance and it should take you to a page where you will get multiple options to set up instance. First being creating everything from scratch, including machine configuration and your Linux details. Then you can also make use of templates or existing Linux image. Finally, marketplace. So all of these features you can take a look at. I will purposely select marketplace, and here you will have drawer where I can choose free to filter things out. Right, and at the top I will be typing in MySQL. Right, so if I select and run, that should show me these results. So let's see if MySQL is available. We can also take a look at Postgres. Right, okay, so that's also available. There should be other databases too, like say MariaDB. So I'm checking in all the databases. That is possible if we click on category as well, so other should be there as well. For now you get multiple options, something like, let's say, PostgreSQL cluster, Postgres one-click deploy, then lab, and this particular DevNami instance. So we'll choose this PostgreSQL one-click deploy option. We will also take a look at MariaDB. If I get enough time, I will cover it separately, however. But for now, let's take a look at PostgreSQL. We can click on pricing part. And you can see we have 2 CPUs and 8 GB memory, which is a bit overkill. So I will try and reduce that to reduce the cost. So now let's launch. You will have to click multiple times so that it moves out of this drawer. Right, and then click here and it will try and load it. Right, it will check for APIs and load your instance. It will also give your deployment name on its own. It will select the zone, US East, and so on. Now next thing is you can select the CPU series E2, then machine type, where you can pick the one CPU and memory. Then you have boot disk with specific GB. Right, you can also allow certain ports on firewall. Right, you can also check the stack driver, where you can see the monitoring and management of services by enabling these 2 modules. You get Debian OS, and you have PostgreSQL 15 instance. In near future this could change. You could be on PostgreSQL 18 or 20, so you have to check that here. Right, as I told you, I reduced the cost by reducing the CPU and memory. Right, so pretty much we managed to cover up the cost here. Now if you want to increase the memory, you can choose memory optimize, then series of CPU will change. If you use compute optimize, then memory and CPU part will change, and you can select what works for you. Also, I tried to move to 10 GB, but it seems like it is not letting me go for lower disk. So 20 GB is minimum required, and once you have all that set up, okay, so there isn't much on network interface. Considering external IP will be ephemeral or none, so we'll stick with ephemeral. Then subnet and network both are set to default. So that's pretty much your list of options to set. Now I will click on deploy. So this will go for deployment. Right, once deployed, it will take you to deployment manager where there will be Python script that will do the deployment. Right, it will also tell you how to connect to PostgreSQL once all the instance is set. We will also try and open our current instance into Compute Engine so that we can also remove it from there, and this deployment manager will take care of remnant deletion at the end. Now one more thing that I didn't cover is this summary part. Here you also get username Postgres, then its temporary password, right? And then you also have your instance details. Finally, it should also give you the login details. Meanwhile, on next tab, I will go to main menu, then compute engine, and then VM instance. It will take a bit of time to load everything. So now we are going well. Right, so now everything is deployed. It will tell you to run sudo, then super user Postgres, then -c psql, and once we connect it through that particular instance, we may have to use this password. Right, so let's take a look at this part. Make sure to copy the password just to check that. Now here we are, our instance is set up. We can also take a look at our IP address. Now once you get the IP address, you can also connect to this particular instance through variety of other applications like Azure Data Studio, pgadmin, and so on. Right, so for now, as you can see, I have this external IP address, then username and password already set. Now I will try and connect to this particular instance through SSH. Right, so I will select open in browser window. Right, so I will take it to left, and here wait for it to connect us to that particular Debian OS instance where we have PostgreSQL installed. Once set up, it will show us the terminal. So that terminal is visible in browser. Right, so once you establish the connection, you can take a look at the part here. So here we can type in sudo and then super user and then Postgres as my username, then space, then -c, and then psql. Right, so if I hit enter, it will take you in. Right, I can use /t, did not find any relations, /shell to list all the available data. Now there is one more command that you can take a look at. Here you can connect to host, localhost, then Postgres, then DB name. We don't have DB name for now, so we don't have anything specific to connect to, but I can show you the table plus connection just to verify if things work. So we will go to table plus and try to verify whether this connection works. So it will open the table plus from my system, and I will try to connect using two things. One, this user, this password, and this particular IP. So right click, then click new, and then we have like this particular PostgreSQL instance where I can give it name dev postgres, right? And then here I can use Postgres as user, right? Then we have this particular password, right? So these two things. Host we are going to make use of. Copy this and hit for the IP. Right, everything said and done. Let's test this out. If it connects, that means we managed to successfully install PostgreSQL on GCP through Compute Engine VM.